Hello VC, another fat bearded man talking about records, but you can call me Hedley. Hello, it's good to be back. I've just done one of those gimme 10s, so I'm going to do a bit of a record haul and keep that going that I've recently got. But before I get into that, I've got something important I need to do. I received this in the post the other day. And this is a painting by Diana, Diggin in the Crate, that I won from her 400 subscribers competition. Was it 400? It's probably more than that now. And this is great. Absolutely wonderful. I'm over the moon. I've never won anything. I said to her in an email, I think, that I'd never won anything apart from a set of knitting needles. Mind you, I did sell those for 15 quid. Anyway, but this is great. And it's painted using coffee. And I'm trying to see if you can... Maybe. If I get tired, I might have to give that a lick. Lick David Bowie's face. Oh, sorry, you didn't... I do apologise, you didn't need to see that. Anyway, that is going to go in a frame and somewhere on the wall. Diana, that's marvellous. But that wasn't the only thing in the package I got from her. There was a couple of records as well. So, hey, Boston. The first one is a 7-inch singles, Shearwater with Sharon Von Eaton. And it's a cover version of, what's it called? Stop Dragging My Heart Around, which is a Tom Petty song. I think did he do it with Stevie Nicks? I've not actually heard the original. I might have to say, but this is really good, and it's a really nice sort of fold out sleeve as well. I wonder if I can do the final bit. There we go. Yeah, that's really groovy. Loving it. Yeah, it sounds great. It's on the Sub Pop label. I even had to, because it's got the hole in it like that, because in the UK we tend not to get punched out 7-inch singles. So I had to fish out one of my adapters. But yeah, if you haven't heard Shearwater, they sound really good. I'm going to have to check out more of them. I think I have heard some of their stuff, but yeah, really good. And finally, what she put in for me, she knows me very well. This is a flexi disc, I think it came free at some point with Rolling Stone magazine, and it is, what is it? It's on Capricorn Records from 1973, and it's Ramblin Man by the Allman Brothers and Take the Highway by the Marshall Tucker Band. So a bit of country rock. And yeah, Ramblin Man is a good tune. So yeah, I mean, really, technically, I know it was a contest, but this is really my first bit of VCLT, TLVLT. Yeah, you know what I mean. Anyway, Diana, thank you so much. It's wonderful to receive that in the post. And here's to your next 400 subscribers. Right, I will get on now with showing some records that I've picked up recently at various charity shops, record shops, just generally all over the place, really. It doesn't really matter where I pick them up, does it? All pretty cheap. None of them I paid more than 4 or 5 quid for. But most of them about £1 or thereabouts. Okay, so first of all, starting off, Emmylou Harris, 13. I assume it's called 13 because it is her 13th album. I haven't checked that out. I love Emmylou Harris. This is from 1986. God, I nearly had to put my glasses on. 1986. It's not groundbreaking stuff. It's not one of her best albums, but it's pretty nice. It's got a duet with John Anderson on it. What other songs we got? She does Mystery Train. Today I Started Loving You Again. Yeah. Emmylou Harris. Love Emmylou. Really good. Okay, got to get this right way around. This is Bobby Hicks, Texas Crap Shooter. It could be that way, or it could be that way. It's pretty good. I like that. And so what this is, Bobby Hicks is as you can see, he's a fiddler. And what this, he was a fiddler. He played for Bill Monroe in his Bluegrass Boys at one point. This is a record from 1978. And what we've got, and if you see on the cover here, we've got, as it says, can you see that? It says Western Swing. And there we've got Bobby Hicks wearing a kind of a rhinestone outfit. And if I spin it round the other way, we've got, as it says there, Bluegrass. And there we've got him wearing the double denim. I didn't know that was the Bluegrass thing. Anyway, so yeah, half of the record is Western Swing, half the album is Bluegrass. He's a talented fiddle player. On the Western Swing side, we've got Big Beaver, Bill Monroe's son, Bob Wills' song, Maiden's Prayer, Cherokee Swing, and the song Texas Crap Shooter. And on the Bluegrass side, we've got Scotland, which is a Bill Monroe song, I think, Paddy on the Turnpike, East Tennessee Blues, that doesn't sound... Anyway, and for Andy, if you're watching, this has got one of your favourites on it. It's got Vassar Clements on fiddle on one of the tracks. So there you go. If you're a completist, Bobby Hicks, Texas Crap Shooter. Right. This is Victor Jara, a Chilean singer, songwriter, folk singer, activist. I was familiar with the name due to a song by Calexico called Victor Jara's Hands. And sadly, Victor Jara, he was a director, theatre director, teacher, and like I said, folk singer. And in 1973, with the American-backed coup that took place, that deposed the democratically elected leader of Chile for the military junta, which was run by Augusto Pinochet, murderer, dictator, and personal friend of Margaret Thatcher. Lovely man. 6 days or something after the coup, Victor Jara was killed. A political activist. Yeah. So he became a bit of a hero to the folkies around the world. And this is a lovely album of kind of like a bit of a Chilean Leonard Cohen, but with a bit more politics thrown in. Lots of just him and classical guitar. Sounds very nice. I need to learn more Spanish to be able to understand it better. Okay, last video I did of these, I showed this album, a Jimmy C. Newman album, who does kind of Cajun country. Okay, now, funnily enough, the day I made that video, or was it the next day, I managed to find this album by Jimmy Newman, Sans the Sea, and this is on my favourite Stetson Label. I love the Stetson Label. Honestly, if anyone sees records on the Stetson Label, which was an English or UK repress label, all of the albums that I have got are worth listening to. They've pressed quality country music. So if you see any Stetson, pick them up. Anyway, so this is Jimmy C. Newman, and if we compare his looks, that's him in the 70s, 77 I think that was. There we go, looking like an outlaw. And there we've got him, 1961 this album was released originally, and yeah, much more squeaky clean. And this has some of the songs that are on the other album. We've got Alligator Man and Big Mamu, I think that's how you say it, Big Mamu. And it's a lot more straight ahead country, 1960. So it's a bit dated. Like I said, those two songs that are the ones that are the most Cajun probably come out the best. The rest of it's a bit kind of sloppy, but it's good stuff anyway. So Jimmy Newman, no C. There's an interesting one. This was a 50p find somewhere at a charity shop. This is The Man from Interpol, which is a soundtrack to a TV show. I've never seen the TV show. This is from 19 I want to say 58 or 59. Oh well. I'll put it down. I'll have put it in if I find it. It's what you'd expect, I suppose. When I picked it up, it's exactly what I expected. Sort of a jazzy score, somewhere along the lines of The Man with Golden Arm, that type of stuff. Really nice cover as well. I cleaned that up. It's got a really interesting sleeve actually. That if I can get it out. Oh, it's really tight. Yeah, it's like the record comes in a kind of just in a sort of a thing, and it's obviously the original thing. I don't know if you've seen those before. Kind of interesting. Record needs a little bit of a clean. It's on Ember Records International, which is kind of nice. And does that have the date on it while I'm looking? Do you know, it doesn't. It doesn't. So, unfortunately, I can't tell you, but I will tell you later. Right, okay, I'll just put that down there. I was very pleased to find this. This is Johnny Cash live at Folsom. I was at Folsom Prison, and I've been looking for this for years. You'd have thought this would be the most common of albums of his, but actually, I don't know about in the States or in Canada or anywhere else. San Quentin is the one that you see everywhere, live at San Quentin. Maybe in the UK because there was a Granada TV show that was done of the filming, but of the two prison records, this is the one I rate. It's got Folsom Prison Blues, Dark as a Dungeon, I Still Miss Someone, Cocaine Blues, 25 Minutes to Go, Orange Blossom Special, The Long Black Veil. You've got Jackson with June Carter, Give My Love to Rose. I got Stripes, Green Green Grass of Home. Yeah, very pleased to pick that one up because it is, I think, my favourite Johnny Cash album. It's just the atmosphere, the playing, the repartee, all of that. It's lovely. Juice Newton. I didn't know really anything about Juice Newton. I know she's a bit middle of the road country from the 80s. But I saw this and I thought, it's an early one of hers, 1980. I thought I'd pick this up. It doesn't, I mean, one of the things I often do when I look at bands and artists is I look at, if I can see, I look at the musicians that are on it, and I don't recognise any of these names. They don't seem to be part of the Nashville session players that I'm familiar with. But having said that, it's okay. It's got the big single "Angel of the Morning," which if anyone has recently seen the oh gosh, what's he called? Bloodpool film. It has a rather nice showcasing of that song on it. It's poppy country. There are some more that it's got Queen of Hearts, which was that Dave Edmunds did that, and it sounds almost exactly the same, just with Juice Newton singing on it. It's pretty okay for a poppy country album. I'll give that a few listens, I reckon. Okay. Ricky Skaggs. This is called Love's Gonna Get You. Now, I'm not familiar with Ricky Skaggs' kind of 80s music. I'm more familiar with his early stuff and his later stuff, where he's a very traditional mandolin, fiddle, bit of a bluegrass guy. And I understand what was happening with these as he was trying to kind of go mainstream. And while there are elements of that more traditional type of music on this album, I say these because I picked up another one I'll show in another video. And it's just Walking in Jerusalem. That's more traditional. Raising the Dickens. But I mean it's big production, very 80s. But it's an interesting amalgamation. Now, I've done enough talking about the music. Let's talk about the man himself. Look at that. That outfit. Wow. Pure 80s. And the mullet of doom. Wow. The man, the mullet, Ricky Skaggs. And there he is, him on the back. Oh, yeah. I'm sure he's not very proud of that. Who would be? Yeah. Quintessential 80s look. And you know it's a quintessential 80s look when you've actually, even on the back of the record, you've got the hairdresser mentioned. Hairdresser! Okay, there we go. Ricky Skaggs. Another kind of bluegrassy kind of thing. This is Dave McEwen. Dave McEwen? John McEwen. John McEwen. I picked this up mainly because he had a banjo in his hand, and I thought, hey, that's got to be a good album. It's a self-titled album from. Let's have a look. I can see it. Can see it. Do you know I can't? 85. And yeah, it was only when, I feel really embarrassed. It's only when I came home that I did a bit of researching and I found out he was the banjo player in the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. So on one of my favourite albums of all time, Will the Circle Be Unbroken, he is the banjo player. So I'm really embarrassed that I didn't know that. And it's an interesting album, this, because it's kind of got the great and the good. The first side... my picture? It's alright. I've got some sort of... The first side has... let's see... Mark O'Connor, Jerry Douglas, backing vocals from Dennis Wilson, David Allan Coe, and that's produced by a group of people. But the second side is produced by John McEwen himself. And this has got, if we look at the artists that are on this, I'll show you that while I'm looking at it. We've got Jose Feliciano, Vassar Clements, Tony Rice, David Grisman, Roy Husky Jr., Rob Wasserman, Gary Scruggs, backing vocals by Jan Garrett, Dwayne Allen, Joe Bonsall. Is that the Oak Ridge Boys? Anyway, I might be wrong there. Good sounding kind of. Again, a bit like the Ricky Skaggs. It's trying to be a bit poppy. Certainly the first side. But yeah, nice banjo playing. Okay, I'm going to finish up, because I know I've been going on a bit. I'm going to finish up with some classical records I picked up. Now, my dad was a big classical music fan, and I grew up listening to the music he would listen to. And so I've got a love of classical music, and I've often found on records the crackles and things like that can be off-putting, especially in the quiet, slow passages and things like that. It can be very off-putting. However, if I can find mint copies of good recordings, I will pick them up. And so I happened upon a number of these. I think I paid 50p each for these, and these are a group of Deutsche Grammophon records in mint condition. Don't think they've been played. This is so I'll go through these quickly. This is Rossini overtures, and it's got the overtures to Thieving Magpie, which I really love, Barbara Seville, and of course it's got William Tell, which is that thing that people say that if a good measure of whether you're an intellectual is if you can listen to the William Tell overture and not think of the Lone Ranger. Yeah, I can't do that, unfortunately. So yeah, Rossini. Then we've got Schubert String Quintet in C major. Not a big, don't know a huge amount about Schubert. He's someone I'm exploring at the moment. Yeah, it's nice sounding record. Then we've got Hector Berlioz Symphonie Fantastique, which is a classic. Herbert von Karajan conducted. And finally, Edvard Grieg, Peer Gynt, extracts from. And I suddenly realised when I was listening to this that the Hall of the Mountain King, you know that one. All the versions I'd heard up until now had been orchestral arrangements, and suddenly realising that actually it was originally a choral piece. So that was interesting to find out. There you go. You learn something new every day. Right, that's it. That's enough of those. I've got some more coming, and I've got a special Christmas one I'm going to do with something slightly off the wall. But until then, I've been another fat bearded man talking about records. Bye-bye for now.